either of you two qualified to operate this piece of machinery? Release the ram! Embarrassing. Monday afternoon, guys. It's been a hot one today, but as you can see up here, the boys have nearly finished this rough in on this room. It's been a big effort, so I'll flip the camera around and I'll show you some little details. Alright, so as you can see, I've pointed out this a number of times. We've got little hoops under any of the extra low voltage cabling, except that one. Good grief. Well, that one can get fixed, right? But nice, tidy looms, the cables, minimal crossing, except where we have to, you know. That's going across, and then some of the lighting loops here, and that's got to go down that wall. Right. Medical service panel on the wall there. Right. There's a row of lights. These are the recovery beds here, and there's a row of lights with a pendant style drop down inspection light, sort of on an arm. It comes down and you can point it around wherever. So had a massive muck around this morning trying to work out whether these pendant arms need to be on a body protected RCD or not. But been through the whole thing. It's a specified fitting that's designed for hospitals, so it's actually got a body protection rating on the arm, which is good. That means that all we need to do is supply an outlet in the roof. There's a transformer on the light itself, and then we can just have it on a 30 milliamp RCD back in the switchboard, rather than this 10 milliamp RCD mounted on the wall in the body protection room. So that's a win. Some absolutely lovely cable management. My good buddy Steve. Not so bad, not so good on this side of the room, mind you, but that is going to look mint. Proper sweaty Wednesday here, boys, but we're getting some submains in. So I miss filming these with the boys, but I've got a 16mm 5-core here, so I'll roll that out and then sort of run you through this one, and you can get the gist of what happened up there. Alright, hey guys, we're in the main switch room. So these sets of submains are for the UPS boards. So we've got a 16mm multi-core, and then 2 sets of XLPE SGIs. So as you can see, we've come out just out of the room, and they've tied them all the way down to the end here, to there, and I'll just clip you there. Go on over. Right, and we've just left them loose here because this piece of tray coming across, we're just going to move that slightly. We're rearranging this room a little bit, so that tray, we're just going to move it back this way just a smidge. Product placement, safe styles. We're just going to move this back a little bit, just so that we've got enough room with gyprock on wall, and we're probably going to mount the boards on this. So we'll put some timber in behind like the fairing channel here. This could be about 40mm or so, and we'll put some plywood on there so we can fix the boards directly to that wall. So we'll probably do 1, 2, 3 boards, something like that. Behemoth here is the mechanical services board. This fella is gonna actually, it's just on a pallet and ratchet strapped up there, but there's a plinth just there. It's gonna sit along there like this. So on that plinth, it's just gonna be long ways there. So we've got to do something, getting some cables out here. I'm gonna try and get the mechanical contractor to do that cable tray if possible, because he's got to get cables out of this thing. But we're doing the 630 amp. Fuck, we are not doing that. It's a 300 amp supply, I'm pretty sure. Record scratch. I'm sure that's not right. Our supply to this building is a 630 amp incomer. What's going on here? Main switch, 400 amp kilowatt. I'll be checking this we don't have enough juice to give them 630 amps. I'm pretty sure it's 400 amps max on the plans. I'll check that and come back. Rolling in, 11 o'clock, big sleep in from the Big J. The fault find master.
You on call, are you?
Ah, what you doing up there, Luke?
Oh, just doing a little bit of fire.
Let's have a closer look. This is one of our detector bases. That's a thermal detector. All the detectors in the basement here are thermal. Obviously because of big beastly diesels like these, they give off a lot of smoke and you don't want to set the alarms off because of the just exhaust fumes, which is in normal use. This is the medical gas guys' little setup for, like, they pressurize all the lines and just they've got the gauges here and they'll leave it overnight or for a couple of days and just make sure it doesn't drop off. Mate, it's been a hot day today. Just muggy. Rain, and the sun came out. It's been disgusting. Bloody Wednesdays, hump day. A little update on the lighting here as well. Trav's been at it today, and I'll flick you around and have a look, okay? Alright, so these loops here, I probably showed this the other day, but they're for the bed lights. There's two like troffer style fittings above each bed, and then a pendant in the center. Alright, and then looks like he's just smashing loops out in this room. This will be the motion detector, and Trav's just started as something to make it a little easier to identify. He's been doing the normal cables with black texter and then using a red one. Got him a red texter for this, so when you've got a junction sort of like this, it's a little bit easier to discern the essential from non-essential. Some specs will actually tell you to run a different color cable. So some hospitals that I've worked in before have specified that they'd like black TPS for their essential circuits. But on this, again, we had like a smidgy bit of design and construct, so we told them not to bother because we can just label it all and, you know, everything's going to work. Once the ceiling grid's up and the roof's all shaded, it's not going to make a lick of difference whether it's white or black TPS. So as long as it's all working and performs to adequate specifications, performs adequately is the right way to say that. So yeah, just another row of beds here, and then they've got up the guts here, they've got a cat wire prepped, so they'll probably run just the lights up the middle tomorrow. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. Hey guys, alright, so what I've got here is just a janky setup to test this dual channel sensor. So these sensors are designed to have an essential and a non-essential circuit in the same room with just the one sensor. So if we see here, we've got L2 neutral and switch wire, and L1 neutral and switch wire, so they're independent. Now the tricky thing with them, they're a programmed sensor, but instead of having to run multiple switch wires down to a switch, they actually have a push button terminal there. Okay, so you can use one of these Macs here. This is a push button bell press Mac. They're for like a doorbell. They're designed for doorbells, but it's just a momentary switch. As you press it, it will hold down and make contact. As soon as you let go, it breaks contact. So as you can see, I've got the meter set up to simulate one of the circuits, and just that big light simulates the other. So if I'll get it all in shot, that'll turn both of them off, and that'll turn both of them on. So this is working. I haven't used these sensors before, so I just wanted to dry run it and make sure that we have all the right cabling at every sensor. So when we're doing our roughing, you just want to be 100% sure about that before you start throwing cables around and getting the sensors all jumbled up. So if we didn't know about this, there's also some programmable. So these other two terminals here are, you can set these sensors as a master sensor and then have a slave sensor down the road, and the slave sensor will send an input to this one telling this to turn the lights on. So all your switch wire and control can be at the first sensor, and the slaves just basically just have a twin daisy chain down to all the slaves. So if you had a long hallway, for instance, you could have like a sensor here, and then a slave and a slave and a slave around the corner, and the first sensor would be doing all your switch wires would come from your first sensor all the way down the hallway, and the other ones just have a twin running in between them. So I'll do a few more videos on these sensors as we progress through the job. Won't be for a while because this is just an initial check, just to make sure everything's working correctly, and we've got to get in touch with the software guy to just make sure that we haven't missed anything here. So I'll let you guys know as soon as I know some more details about these crazy sensors. Pingers. Any development in this hallway that we've had the last few days is Danny's finished all the security cabling. So we've got 4-core, 6-core, and there's some Cat6As in there for video monitoring, video, what are they called? Closed circuit TV. So that's all rolled out up the end there, similar to what you would have saw the data a couple of weeks ago. That is going up the core hole imminently. So it's going to go up one of them, and yeah. Morning fellas, it's Thursday morning. We've got some more submains to pull today, so I'll try and get some better footage than just the pictures I had from the other one. It's hot, sticky day again today. It's not quite as hot now, but give it a couple of hours. If the sun comes out, it's going to be torturous. Ugh. Give me some sexual tugging bands. Hey? Some sexual tugging bands. Oh, stroke it. I think you're a crowd favourite, mate. You too, Andrew. Down the back corner. Yep. There'll be a couple of corners, so. This fucking little piddly ladder.
How big's that board? Is it just a standard 600 or is it bigger?
It's just a standard 600. So, a little bit more. Another, I don't know, another metre would probably do it, really.
We need to pull more.
Yeah.
I was getting stuck there, that's what I mean.
Yeah, okay.
Good, come on, right.
Too tight for you, Joshy. Second set, boys. Look at those guns. Give us a gunshot, Andrew. Go on, mate.
Ready?
No, wait, hang on. Why have you gone?
What?
Been on the
Give me a sec though, come stop.
Yeah, hang on. We've got submains in, boys. One for each board. Essential? Non-essential. Or non-essential? Essential. Whatever. Doesn't matter yet. Hey boys, so the other little thing that we had today, we just got some temporary light, just a temporary light circuit up through the guts of this building. It's getting pretty dark in the mornings now, so especially if we're starting a little earlier than 7. So he's got, you know, it's about 15 lights or so. There's a few down the back hallway each way as well. It's going to be a lot better tomorrow morning, so I'll do the before and after walk, I guess. Yeah, I've just got it on a little switch at the board, and I've got a young work experience kid that he's just sort of done a few days with us, and mate, he's done a phenomenal job fitting these off. Very impressed with him. It's just a little before and after of our temporary lights that we've just installed. pretty dim. We've got a bit of electrical light, it's about 10 AM. But yeah, it's pretty dark. That's just my light above my desk. Oh, sorry. We just had a fault on a plug base. We had voltage on the terminal screws, but it wasn't getting through to the actual pins. So it's an old plug base, so temporary old crap that we're using, but we'll fix it up and then have the lights on. Oh mate, lit up. You can see every detail of Travis's shitty fade. Fuck off, dog. Alright. Just plug that light in, Wooly. Weehaw City. All good now?
Yeah, good.
Yes, baby. Ah! Yeah. Happy Friday, everyone. Sucked in, I'm working tomorrow, but just the little update at the moment is we're getting these little rooms roughed in. We've got some answers this week about our lighting control. We're using the KNX lighting automation system. And we've got a supplier that's looking after us for that. We're going back and forth a little bit with some details. Just the feeds here have been going in all day today. Most of the power feeds are in the operating theatres still. Like, there is a lot going on in these operating rooms, mate. Like the three here and the 2 up here. Man, it's on, but you know, we're talking like there's probably close to 20 circuits in these rooms. I know this is one we've seen before. So this room and this room are the cardiac rooms. I'm pretty well above like the earthing system that you need to use in here. This earthing system is like full on. It's an equipotential bonding system, and mate, it is next level. So it's all about minimizing the leakage current that can possibly get to the patient, because there's potential that they'll be connected like straight to the heart. But yeah, so I'm getting above it, and I'm definitely going to be showing it in the upcoming videos. So alright, so just a little 30-second update on the comms room here. You all know it looks absolutely gorgeous. And this here is Steve's method of a service loop, and you know, eventually once they're all in, we need to put a piece of strut from the structural steel there across, and we're going to hang it down from the purlin, just so he's got a little bit more space, because like these 3 bunches here, they need to go in that as well, and he's run out of tray. So he's pretty annoyed about that, but it's an easy enough solution. If you guys remember from a couple of videos ago, that's the short bundle. If you remember me talking about it, it was at the end of maybe my second video, but turns out that with everything included, it's going to be okay. So yeah, down here's going pretty well as well. These are all thermal detectors. I would have said that before, because exhaust will set them off if they're smokies. Yeah, so next week down here we've got to start testing these light circuits. We had some vandalism on the site like over the last couple of years, and they've chopped a lot of cables up at the circuit board where these lights go up to, so we're just going to have to start testing and see if there's any cables. There's been some core holes on the site as well. The plumbers did some core holes, so there's some of our conduit boxes, like probably pull boxes. A few things in there, so we'll just have to wait and see. So it'll be nice to get some lights on down here, especially down those ends. It's quite dark. Rightio fellas, well, it's been a cooler day today. It's still raining, but the temperature, the humidity is a lot lower. Thanks for watching this video, this exciting episode, and stay tuned. I think I'm going to probably do this as a weekly thing, because I can just do little bits of recording here and there. I'm very busy during the day. It's hard for me to like get actual footage of like what we're doing. So I got a little bit of the mains pool the other day. It's kind of tricky because I've got so much shit to do. So anyway, it's all good, boys. I'll I'll see you next week. Cheers.